Hey up everyone, I'm back again. So just wanted to do a quick little comparison here between the iPhone 6 Plus and the Blackberry Passport. So we're comparing the two fruit companies here, and these devices aren't cheap. They're going to cost you quite a bit, so it's important to see what the main advantages are between the two devices. And I think that both of them do have quite a few kind of strengths and weaknesses. For example, with the iPhone 6 Plus, I found that when using it I've come close to dropping the device quite a few times, and this has been apparent when I was taking some pictures near a river. I thought it was going to go for a dip, but I haven't had that problem with the Blackberry Passport. I think that the back, while it doesn't look so premium as the gold kind of metallic finish, it's far more practical. And the usage in the one-handed scenario, it's more possible than it is on the iPhone because of how tall the device is. That's not to say that the iPhone 6 is a poorly made device. It feels absolutely fantastic. The build quality is absolutely top-notch, and I think this is a sort of device that you'd bring to like a dinner party or something. You just want to put it on the table to outbling your opponents, whereas the BlackBerry I think is more of a business type of function device, which if you put on the desk it's certainly going to turn heads with its distinctive keyboard and very nice build to it. I think it would have been nice if BlackBerry had implemented a fingerprint scanner on the keyboard, like here. I do find myself using the Touch ID almost consistently now, compared to like putting in passwords and things like that. Maybe they can think about doing that on the next iteration of the BlackBerry. But obviously you have the excellent keyboard that you don't get on the iPhone 6 Plus, which is very physical. And at first I did find the keys a bit stiff, but as you start using it a bit more, they do start to break in, and you do start to get the hang of like quick gestures, which make typing a lot easier and more fun as well. For example, you can quickly swipe to the left to delete stuff, and you can swipe down to access the like number buttons and things like that. It does feel a bit weird going back and forth between these two though. I think that an extra level of keys would certainly be more natural there. On the iPhone it's all about the physical keyboard experience, so sorry, the virtual keyboard, what am I talking about? And I find that iPhone is very good at typing on. It feels very well spaced out because it's quite a big phone, but I do think that if I was typing long kind of emails and things like that, I would prefer the physical keyboard that the BlackBerry offers. But apart from that, in terms of the screen real estate, we are getting a very nice high resolution display on both of them, with the iPhone 6 coming in with a 4:1 PPI, which is full HD, versus the BlackBerry, which comes in slightly higher pixel density of 453, which I have to say, in terms of the overall quality of both of them, I can't really notice too much of a difference between them. They both seem to be very colourful and offer very nice viewing angles, and obviously you do get to see more content on the iPhone 6 Plus because it is a bigger display. But then again, the wideness of the BlackBerry does well when it is like viewing content on web pages. I noticed I could get more content in. So they both have kind of like advantages in terms of the form factor, but the quality is about the same on both of them. I'd say that the iPhone looked a little bit brighter when I was outdoors, just comparing the screens. I could see like the screen a little bit better on the iPhone, but maybe that's just because it handles the auto brightness a little bit better, which I tend to keep it on. And also it's worthwhile mentioning, obviously the specs are a little bit different across them. You're getting a very nice quad-core Snapdragon 801 versus your dual-core 1 gig of RAM in the iPhone 6 Plus, and we're getting 32 gigs internal storage with a micro SD expandability versus the 16, 64 or 128 storage models on the iPhone 6 Plus. And I think that the areas where they do differ most, however, is obviously in terms of the software, which I feel that the app situation is a bit more mature and grown up on the iOS platform. When I want to search for something, 9 out of 10 it will actually be on the actual store, and you also get these awesome trending kind of alerts. So if an app is particularly popular, you can just kind of click on it and then it will open itself up, which is quite cool. And you don't get that on the Blackberry World App Store. You do get some nice stuff on there, which some games and things like that, but in general I found that the app selection is quite poor, and I have had to kind of supplement the apps with ones from the Amazon App Store or the Google Play Store, and I think that's where the Blackberry does make up for that. The fact you can install Google Apps, which you can't on Windows Phone or iOS, and you do have to go through some work with it though. So if you're prepared to do some work in like patching these apps, then you should be able to get a decent experience when it comes to the ecosystem. I do think that the Blackberry operating system itself though does offer some advantages in regards to the way it handles like notifications and things like that. So as you can see there, I've got some emails coming through which I've not read on the Blackberry Hub, and what happens there is if you are on like the lock screen, they come up as little alerts there, and you can quickly click on them and then tap to open, and it goes straight into it quite quickly, which is very nice indeed. And I think I also do prefer like the music app as well on the Blackberry. It gives you quicker access to the equalizer settings, which I found to be a bit of a faff on the iPhone. Like for example, you can just go to the equalizer here. Granted, you don't get as many stuff as you get on a Sony device, but at least it's quick to access. Whereas on the iPhone, if I go into the music and then want to play something, to go into the equalizer I have to go into the settings, music, then go here, and it does have quite a few nice equalizer settings, but I just wonder why I have to go through so many steps to get to it. But I do like the fact that you can scroll upwards on iOS to get access to quick settings such as airplane mode, torch and things like that. And I think because it's a bigger device, it's really good that I don't have to keep stretching right to the top to get to them. However, if you do stretch to the top, obviously you can get access to your notifications here, and you get quite a lot of information there. I think on the Blackberry, the fact that you've got like a desktop interface means that you can have a bit more information density, and what I mean by that is like if you have several things open such as YouTube, emails, web browser, etc., like bank apps or whatever, you can quickly see like relevant stuff on them, just going in and out of them. Whereas on the iOS platform, you will have to keep tapping the home button and scrolling back into something, and it just feels a little bit more laborious. And on the Blackberry, we have a 13 megapixel OIS camera, which does 4128 by 3096 pixels, that comes with a LED flash, which is a single tone as opposed to the dual tone on the iPhone. Again, it does 60 frames per second recording, which is very nice. I think the front facing camera is a 2 megapixel and does 720p on the Blackberry, and on the iPhone we have a 1.2 megapixel which does 720p at 30 frames per second. But it does support HDR for the front facer on the iPhone, and the Blackberry does not, so some trade-offs there to consider. But you can have a look at the results for yourself and see which one you prefer. So here we have the Blackberry Passport versus the iPhone 6 Plus in terms of your video recording, and you can see it's a very nice day today, but quite cold nevertheless, and we can see how the focusing is. Hopefully I won't drop the phones in the river, because that would be a catastrophe. So both of them seem to be focusing quite quickly, and iPhone took a bit there to reorientate, but got there in the end. Just try that again. So both of them look like they're focused. Blackberry struggling a bit, probably a weird angle. There we go. Again, looks like the iPhone's a bit slow focusing outwards, but both very good in terms of the footage, at least on the screen. Worthwhile mentioning the Blackberry can do 60 frames per second if you like it that fast. So yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I think that these two devices are fantastic for people who do like bigger phones, and you should be aware of some of the strengths and weaknesses before you do invest in one of these. For example, I think the iPhone 6 Plus would suit someone who wants something that just works from the get-go. You're not going to have to put too much work into having a very good experience on the device, and you will find more integration with things like Nest thermostat systems, as well as like IP cams and things like that. But if you're prepared to do the work and put the work in, then you're going to have a very similar experience when it comes to the Blackberry, and you will have to scout across the three app stores though to get like a similar type of app experience. However, when you do like master the gestures, etc., I think that you're going to be much more productive on the Blackberry, coupled with the excellent battery life, the security features, as well as the open kind of nature of it as well. For example, just dragging music to the iPhone 6 Plus was a huge chore for me, because I've always been used to just dragging and dropping it from my Windows computer, but you can't do that on the 6 Plus, but you can easily do that on the Blackberry, and there's very few restrictions there. Also, you got your micro SD expandability, which means that you've got more flexibility with your storage, which is very nice. So yeah, you know, don't be afraid of trying something different. If you do have your eye on the Blackberry Passport, I definitely recommend it. And I hope that you enjoyed this little comparison. Very nice trinkets indeed. And I'll see you very shortly. Cheers.